Of wherever we are. Look at this. This is what they say was the town.
Northeast.
Yeah, northeast. That's the town. Northeast Pennsylvania. You know, Amy makes fun of me in the summer because I like going through all these little towns. I'm just looking with my sunglasses. All these little towns. Now in Ohio. Now we stayed at a hotel at a water slide for the kids last night, and went through this little town. It's what? You're silly. So, I thought I'd go through the 2-year-old. I haven't done my opening yet. I should talk about this, my opening. Haven't done my opening yet. Amy's got one name down for me to talk about. So it looks like money. That's a pretty much slam dunk. Why don't we look at the other ones? Okay. We'll go over that in a minute. So, I want to go over the 2-year-olds with you, where they're at, what they're doing. We did sell a couple of horses last week. They just weren't panning out. And at some point, you have to try and look at even a horse like Anchors Up. Big, strong, good-looking horse, but does he have the talent to be a racehorse? It's hard to ask a horse to do that at 2. But then again, it isn't really that hard to look and say, okay, I'm not saying what he's going to be at the end of his 3-year-old season, or as a 4-year-old, or as a 5-year-old. I don't know. But what is he going to be for the foreseeable future? And it just didn't look like him or Sipping on My Shine possessed enough of the ability to be quality racehorses. And I'm not hard to get along with. Look at a horse like Absolute Euphoria. We afforded her the same time off, the same rest, the same time to grow up and mature. And did she? She looked amazing the other day. And somebody said, wow, 58-3. The track was terrible. She was 9th at the quarter pole. Those were other horses that were racing that she beat. It wasn't like we just put her in with 8 mystery horses that nobody had lines on. We knew they were racing okay. She went away 4th favorite, I think, until Randy Waples mentioned her with like a minute to post, and then she went from like 6-1 to 9-2. But she was a 4th or 5th rung filly in that class on paper, and ended up inhaling them, and that was with an ear hood on, you know, in the most easy manner going. Like James literally just went around, moved her over to the middle of the track, and she just paced right by them. I thought she looked fantastic. So we're going to start our list. We're going to start our list with Absolute Euphoria. She looked great the other day. It's always nice when you... Adeline, what's wrong? Yeah, but I'm talking on the video, so what do you need? Yeah, but you're going to have to wait a few minutes, sweetheart, okay? No, it seems like you're not, though. Then give it to me. I'll eat it. It's yummy. Banana bread.
I don't know what's that one.
What's that?
What's that one? What's that one?
Oh, there's still some race good.
I didn't see anyone else.
Oh, okay. So, Absolute Euphoria. Very happy. Anytime you see a plan come together, it doesn't happen all the time in this industry. Not that often at all. In fact, I think it's fair to say that more times than not, it doesn't go the way we want it to go. But for every Absolute Euphoria, there's going to be a Sipping on My Shine and an Anchors Up that have to leave us. But that's our job, is to make sure that all those stones are unturned. The best that we can look at and say, okay. And even if you had asked me 3 weeks ago to Absolute Euphoria, I don't know for sure that she's awesome. She possesses talent, but what's she going to do with it? That's the one thing, and that is the indicator we're always on the lookout for, the desire, the work ethic, right? That's what we always want to see. And with her, it was present, and it showed up again. Give her the tools to do her work, or him, or anybody else in our barn, and if they want to do it, they'll get it done. We'll have a place for them. Absolute Euphoria. 2 thumbs up for her this week. Wow, it's snowy, eh? Anchors Up, as I said, left us this week. We sold him to a wonderful man with a beard who likes him because he's big and shiny and black. And I'm sure he will excel in his new job description. Brace for Landing. Brace for Landing will be coming back in, I think we said 1st of January, around there, right? We'll bring him back in 1st of January. Here's a colt. Now, here's another perfect example of things just don't go right. Nothing happened to him. The horse raced great right throughout the end of the year. Trotted 55, took a mark of 56. I believe he won twice in 56. But still, when you look at his overall purse earnings, here's a horse we paid a lot of money for that really has only put together, what, 20,000 or thereabouts? Even the highway's nasty. In a shocker, Buffalo's getting pounded with snow. If you guys watched the football game last night, great game, by the way. I watched it at the hotel room. I believe Buffalo won with a field goal in the dying seconds, if I'm not mistaken. And it was a game they were all throwing snowballs at one another, and there was snow pouring out of the sky. That's what we're driving into right now, and it doesn't appear that it stopped that much on the way to Buffalo. So Brace for Landing coming back in January 1st, as I said, didn't have a fantastic 2-year-old year, but did everything that he could, right? Excelled well. I'm hoping as a 3-year-old, as he matures, because that was always the theme of Brace for Landing. From the day we bought him till the day we stopped with him, he was physically immature. He just wasn't there yet. Nowhere near there. So I think he's a horse that will come forward in a big way for us as a 3-year-old. Great coffee in Northeast. It's called The Bean. Northeast Pennsylvania. Carter Michael Dio had raced great this year. I felt between that whole debacle with the Lasix, not getting him on time, getting pinned in with him, making a break, there was a 2 or 3 week span there where we lost maybe 6 figures on and I was just about to say mistakes made, but they weren't really mistakes. It was just poor timing. And poor timing on planet Earth, not by poor timing by a trainer or a driver or anybody else. Just the way that things worked out for this guy this year. Definitely left a ton of money on the table, and hopefully we can scoop some of that back up next year. He's just got a lot of talent. He's a very strong individual. I think he's going to be a really nice 3-year-old for us. Cash Deals is training down well. I suspect she'll be in a school this week or next week. Somewhere over the holidays or shortly in the new year, we'll get her racing. Now, it's the same with her as Absolute Euphoria. I think she's got some talent. If it said she's just going to be that middle of the road, maybe grassroots type, then we'll get the money when we can get it with her. But if she's going to be a little bit more, then we have to try our best to traverse that stake schedule best we can. Like with Absolute Euphoria, the way she looked last night, or the other night, James said, still a little steppy, but loaded with talent and speed. So, take our time. We'll probably race her 3 or 4 times, try and iron out some of the kinks, some of those baby kinks that are in her, and then go easy with her for about a month and let her fill out. That might be 2 weeks in the field, 2 weeks back in light jogging and training, and then we'll fire her back up as we head into the springtime in Ohio. There's a number of paths for horses like that. And again, it all revolves around their willingness to participate and excel. And with Absolute Euphoria, it seems like she's on the right track in that regard. Columbus is in Columbus, jogging right now. He'll come back up to Northfield, I guess, within the next 3-4 weeks. Crantini was is he going back out now? Tuesday he goes back out. I'm going to give him another 2-3 weeks out in the field, try and fatten him up a little bit more. Again, not your ideal situation for turnout, but you got him squared away and perfect now. We were able to pack some weight on him at the farm, so we'll continue to do that over the next, as I said, month, I'd say. He'll go out to the farm this week, and then hopefully they can really pour some weight on him then. Cunning Connie looks good. She's back in. Bit of a cow, kicking the walls and being squealing and stuff, but she's just feeling good and sharp. But she's definitely filled out. She is massive now, and the sky's the limit for her. She showed talent this year at times. She seemed like she had that ceiling, but was it really mental and physical, or was it really overall ability? This is just what she can do, or is this what she's willing to do? And I think somewhere in between, she's still going to be a very nice horse for us at 3. Cutie Cumber is back in now, jogging. I think they actually said they trained her first trip. Did she come back in with Austral? And yeah, so they trained her the other day. First time, I think, in 2:35. We're going to bring Cutie Cumber, Austral, and Tailgate Buzz, those horses, back to Northfield when the stalls open up. That'll be over the next 2 weeks. But for now, she is still at Tim Twaddle's barn in Pennsylvania. 5 fish species will come in she's got to come in over the next week also. Does Mario have a stall, did you say? So 5 fish can go back in there for now. Full Heart is in Columbus right now, getting ready to start training back for her 3-year-old season. We'll see how she seems. Gandalf the Black has been training very good. My God, he looks good. I can't wait to see this horse race. Here's a horse that defied all the odds at 2 when he trained down. Made it to the races, excelled, did everything we asked him to, and we did right by him. He won his last start 54-3, I think, and then we kicked him out in the field, and he is as big as a bus now. I can't wait to see how he comes back. High Enterprise is also in Columbus, jogging now. Expectations are tempered, but quietly they're high. I hope she comes back good. Here's a filly that showed a lot of ability training down, and then she just got to that 2-minute mark and said, that's enough. And I didn't really like that. It seemed to be a few of the enterprises were like that. So hopefully they shake loose as 3-year-olds. It's very possible. We see that with sires sometimes. Horn Player trained good the other day. Dominic said he's been very happy with her. Lady All-Star looks a lot more comfortable on the track. You know, she had that rickety way of going before. She looks like she's filled out. Her knees have cooled down. She looks like she's in a good place, starting to train down. I went with Landing Pad the other day. Thought he was good. Said to Dominic, maybe we should make a few little shoeing changes with this guy as he starts to train a little bit harder. Put his egg bars back on him behind. Left the flip-flops on him up front. I think eventually we'll get away from those flip-flops and just go to a trotting full swedge with him or somewhat, something like that. But we'll see. He'll tell us soon enough. But he trained very good. I was very happy with him. Landing Strip has not come back in yet. He'll come back in with leaps and tactical mounds and brace for landing somewhere around the first of the year. Leaps and Bounds is in now. I believe she's at Tim's Barn. Maybe she's not. Maybe she has to come in this week. I don't want to tell a fib here. I don't know if she's back in yet or not. She's due to come back in. She was due to come back in a week ago. She'll come back in very soon. Merchant Man is back in now, jogging. Very tall now. Really, really grew up a lot. You can tell because he eats good, that horse, but he hasn't put on a ton of weight because he's just so tall now and lanky. I like what I see from him. Again, we're going to give this guy all the room in the world to succeed. He was the very preliminary training stages last year, was one of our top colts, and I expect him to regain some of that shine as we get him back going. More than you know, he continues to look good. He'll continue to train back down. We'll have him ready, I suspect, in January sometime. My 1% qualifying on Monday. Big qualifying day on Monday for our boy. He's our first homebred, isn't he? He's our very first homebred for the stable.ca, and he qualifies on Monday. A lot of eyes going to be on my 1%. Nothing but a dreamer. We'll come back in. Same thing around the new year. Bring him back in around the new year. Oh my gosh, is in Columbus training, right, jogging right now. We'll start training him back again. He's fitting. He started in that category of sipping on my shine, and you need to show me more. He qualified. You know, he qualified. He can do his work, but he needs to do it better. And he was a big colt, so I'm going to give him some room. Give him some room on this. That's exactly why we stopped with Absolute Euphoria also, but then again, it's also why we stopped with Anchors Up. So everything will be in his corner now. Rito Legacy is selling Monday in the preferred online sale platform. There will be no reserve on her. Silent Assassin, I trained yesterday in 2.5. She's getting close, but she's one of these horses. I want to train her 3 or 4 trips real hard before we get her ready, because I want her to pounce when she gets to the track. There'll be no feeling out stage. She's learned enough now as a 2-year-old. I want her tight and ready to go when she goes in behind the gate to race her first start, which will be in 2023. Her first start back, she will be screwed in tight. I guarantee you that. Sir Strong, I didn't even know he's back yesterday. He was back in Northfield. He looks beautiful. Can't wait to see Sir Strong train down also. It's a horse that I came to actually like. I liked his attitude. I liked his work ethic. We turned him out. Exact same situation as Absolute Euphoria. Showed flashes that they wanted to do it, but physically just wasn't quite mature enough. And I think a lot of our horses fit into that category. It wasn't a hope and see and pray. The day he made the break at Northfield, come back trotting and closed in on them in 2 minutes was a big mile, and I was very impressed with Sir Strong that night. Can't wait to see what he can do as a 3-year-old. Sister Solange continues to train at Harry Polton's barn. She had Sister Solange had a good 2-year-old season. She was a stake race winner, and I expect she'll come back good at 3. Smoking, hot Irish girl. One of her best miles was the last one of the year. So, again, I want to believe physically and mentally she's growing up to be a smarter, quicker, stronger horse. We'll see what she does in 2023. Spitfire Overseas comes back in the first part of 2023. Swinging Senorita is back in now. She grew up quite a bit. Looks good. Tactical Mounds will come back in first of the year also. As I said, continue on with her. Tailgate Buzz is going right now at Tim's place, and by all accounts, he looks very good. There's a boiler in here. So Tailgate Buzz looks good, and Warwick Yuri continues to train down. I told everybody he'll be ready when he's ready. There's no point saying what's he been in. I don't even know what Mario's been in with him, but I can see him in the barn. He's still fat and obese and doing his work, but that will come. As we really put those harder miles into him, that will come. The biggest thing that we can't do is physically overexert him. Don't push him until a point where he's uncomfortable. Yes, we have to get weight off him. Yes, we have to polish him up, but we can't do that on our timeline. It has to be done on his. What a mission. Forgot about him. He's got to come in too the first of the year. I don't know what list he was on. He might have missed the bus. But what a mission will come back in first part of the year also. Those are your 2-year-olds. Now 3-year-olds in aged horses, there's less of them right now. We'll get to them in just a second, but very, very impressed with the 2-year-old season we had here at the stable. We'll talk a little bit more about that over the holidays. And our hopes for 2023, both in the rookies we purchased and the 2-year-olds we talked about, are running pretty high as we have a good group heading into 2023. I'll be back in a minute. We'll talk about the 3-year-olds and the aged horses in just a second.